that you have all of your patterns. Front and back panels. Front facing, back facing sleeve, sleeve cuff. Front and back skirts. Pocket. Let's begin with shirring the front and back top from the top all the way to the bottom with a 1 cm spacing in between each stitch. Once you're done, your fabric width should have been reduced and your fabric slightly stretchy. Using the front top template, trace out the outline on the shirred front top fabric. Mark out the center front. Then sew 0.5 cm from the traced line. This is to secure the pattern. Grab a pair of scissors and snip along the traced line. Make sure not to cut onto your stitches. Overlock the edges, then repeat this for the back panel. Sew the front and back top along the shoulder and side seam with a 1 cm seam allowance. Sew the front and back facings along the shoulder with a 1 cm seam allowance. Align the facings to the neckline and sew them together with a 1 cm seam allowance, making sure to match up at the shoulders. On the back facing, mark out the center back and the notch. Sew on each side of the center back, approximately 0.2 cm away. Up till the notch and go back up. Carefully cut down the center back, stopping exactly at the notches. Be very careful not to cut into the stitches. Snip into the seam allowances to reduce tension. Flip open the facing. Understitch on the front and back facings, making sure to catch onto the seam allowances below. On the sleeve panel, mark out the notches. Then fold the sleeve into half and sew along the side seam with a 1 cm seam allowance. Sew 2 rows of gathering stitches along the sleeve crown from notch to notch, and also 2 rows of gathering stitches along the sleeve hem. Take your sleeve cuff and measure it against your forearm. Include an extra 2 cm for the seam allowance. Cut away any excess fabric. Fold the sleeve cuff into half and sew along the short edge with a 1 cm seam allowance. Fold the sleeve cuff into half with right sides facing out and iron well. Baste along the open edges with a 0.5 cm seam allowance. To sew the sleeve to the sleeve cuff, start by gathering the sleeve hem to match the circumference of the sleeve cuff. with the side seams matched up. Sew the panels together with a 1 cm seam allowance. The folded edge will be at the bottom. Gather the sleeve to match the armhole, focusing most of the gathers at the shoulder seam. Sew them together with a 1 cm seam allowance. On the skirt panels, mark out the notches. Then align the pocket below the notches and sew the panels together with a 1 cm seam allowance. Repeat this for the other skirt and pocket panels. With the one completed set, let's call this the front skirt, understitch on the pocket panels, making sure to catch onto the seam allowances below. Do not repeat this for the back skirt panels. Sew the skirt and pocket panels together along the side seams with a 1 cm seam allowance. At the skirt hem, fold up by 1.5 cm and iron well. Top stitch 1 cm from the folded edge. At the top of the skirt, mark out the center front and center back. Sew 2 rows of gathering stitches along the waist. Gently gather the top of the skirt. The circumference of the skirt should pass your shoulders with ease. Try it out. Sew the top and skirt panels together with a 1 cm seam allowance at the waist. For the final touch, hand sew buttons or hook and eye at the center back. And there you have it. Your dress is completed.